Welcome back to the channel, Top Coin, where history meets hidden wealth. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1991 United States one-dime coin, a tiny coin that might just be worth a fortune. Don't blink, because this dime could be the jackpot sitting unnoticed in your pocket, piggy bank, or old coin jar. You've heard that right. This humble 10-cent coin from 1991 could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars under the right circumstances. Before we dive into the 1991 specifics, let's take a step back. The dime, as we know it today, has a long and storied history. First introduced in 1796, the dime is the smallest coin in U.S. currency in both size and value. The modern dime design, which features the image of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, was introduced in 1946 to honor the late president's contributions and his founding of the March of Dimes campaign, which helped battle polio. His legacy lives on every time you hold a dime in your hand. Crafted from a composition of copper and nickel, the Roosevelt dime has been a part of American change purses for decades. But not all dimes are created equal. Some years, some mints, and some tiny mistakes have turned ordinary coins into collector's gold. That brings us to our main star, the 1991 one-dime coin. The 1991 Roosevelt dime was struck by three different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. That's where things get interesting. Coins from each mint bear a different mint mark, and sometimes these marks can mean everything when determining a coin's value. In Philadelphia, dimes are typically marked with a tiny P, Denver dimes carry a small D, and San Francisco mint coins, well, those are special. They were struck primarily for proof sets and carry an S mint mark. These proof dimes are some of the highest quality coins you'll find, struck with incredible detail using specially polished dies. Now here's the part everyone's been waiting for. How do you know if your 1991 dime is valuable? Well, it all comes down to varieties, errors, and condition. Let's start with condition. A dime in poor shape may only be worth its face value, 10 cents. But a 1991 dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially graded MS-65 or higher, can be worth $10 to $50 or more, depending on demand. That's not bad, but we can go higher. Now let's talk about error coins. These are the gems. Due to misalignments, double strikes, off-center minting, missing layers, or clipped planchets, some dimes leave the mint with defects that collectors crave. One rare example is the off-center strike, when the design is visibly misaligned. If your 1991 dime has part of the design missing or appears shifted, you could be holding a coin worth $100 to $300 or more, depending on severity. Another major error to look for is the no-S proof dime. This is a rare phenomenon where a San Francisco proof coin is struck without its mint mark. Although no such confirmed examples have yet surfaced for 1991, earlier years like 1975 and 1983 had these no-S varieties and sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. And don't forget about die cracks, broad strikes, and double dies. These can all significantly raise the value of a 1991 dime. So, you think you might have a valuable dime. Now what? The next step is grading. The condition of your coin dramatically affects its price. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC use a scale from 1 to 70. A dime graded MS-60 is uncirculated, but one graded MS-68 or MS-69. That's extremely rare and extremely valuable. Some top-grade 1991 dimes have sold for over $600 at auction, simply because of their near-perfect condition and eye appeal. And here's a tip. Proof dimes from 1991, especially deep cameo strikes with excellent contrast, can fetch $30 to $150 or more if slabbed and certified. You might be wondering, where can I sell my 1991 dimes or look for rare ones to add to my collection? Start with reputable coin dealers, online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. Just make sure to do your research. Look for coins that have been professionally graded, and compare past sales. Even better, visit a local coin show. Talk to dealers. Ask questions. Sometimes you can find hidden treasures in bargain bins or strike up conversations that lead to once-in-a-lifetime finds. Before we wrap up, here are a few fun facts you might not know about the 1991 dime and dimes in general. Did you know that the edge of a dime has 118 tiny ridges? That's called reeding, and it was originally added to prevent coin shaving back in the day when coins were made of silver. And while the 1991 dime isn't silver, it's a copper-nickel clad, it still holds significant value for collectors thanks to its potential rarity and errors. So there you have it, the 1991 United States 1 dime coin. A piece of modern history that could be worth far more than 10 cents. Whether it's because of a minting error, a high-grade condition, or a rare proof variety, your spare change might just be your next big payday. If you learned something new today, smash that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin and currency videos, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1991 dime or any cool coin stories to share. I love reading your comments and featuring rare finds from our viewers. Today's episode is going to blow your mind, because we are diving deep, and I mean really deep, into the incredible world of the 1997 1 dime coin from the United States of America. Yes, that tiny coin you probably walk past or toss into a tip jar might just be worth a small fortune today. That's right. You could be holding a piece of history worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars without even knowing it. Let's rewind the clock and take a journey back to 1997. Bill Clinton was president, Titanic was dominating the box office, the internet was still young, and somewhere in the heart of America, millions of dimes were rolling out of the mints, small, shiny, and seemingly insignificant. But not all of them were ordinary. Some of those dimes, well, let's just say, they were hiding secrets. To understand why a 1997 dime could be worth far more than 10 cents, we have to talk about a few key things: history, mint marks, rare errors, collector demand, and of course, current market prices. So buckle up and stay with me to the end, because we're going to uncover everything you need to know about this remarkable little coin. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1997 dime features Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, on the obverse side. This design has been in use since 1946, the year after his death. On the reverse, we see a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Standard issue? Absolutely. But as every collector knows, it's the exceptions that turn heads. In 1997, dimes were minted at two major locations, the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a small letter P, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. While most of these dimes are still circulating and only worth face value, certain versions, especially those with minting errors or extremely high grades, have become incredibly valuable. Now let's get into the juicy part: error coins. Some 1997 dimes have surfaced with shocking mistakes, like off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, or even no mint marks at all. These aren't your everyday coins. They're the unicorns of the pocket change world. One particularly exciting variety is the missing clad layer error. The dime looks copper-colored on one side or both, because it's missing the usual outer layers of nickel. These errors are rare and can fetch up to $150 to $300, depending on condition. Another thrilling variant is the double-dyed dime, where parts of the image, especially in the words Liberty or the year 1997, appear slightly double due to a dye shift during minting. Some of these have been sold for $200 to $500 or more. But what if your 1997 dime is in perfect condition? Let me tell you, condition is king in the world of coins. A 1997 dime graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command an impressive price. We're talking $100 to over $1,000, especially if it has a brilliant luster, no scratches, and sharp detail. Professional grading can make a huge difference. A common dime becomes a gem-quality collectible when certified. And the best part? These coins are still out there. You might find one in your change, in a drawer, or in an old coin jar that's been collecting dust for decades. Now let's talk market value. As of this month, some authenticated rare 1997 dimes have sold on eBay and auction sites for upwards of $250 to $1,200, depending on rarity and grade. And the market is heating up. Collectors are paying more than ever for coins with history and hidden stories. A certified mint error from 1997 recently sold for over $800. Yes, for a dime that was worth just 10 cents 28 years ago. I found a 1997 dime with no mint mark in my dad's old cigar box, said one collector. I almost spent it, but something told me to check. Sent it for grading. It came back MS-65, no mint mark, struck on a penny planchet, worth over $600 now. This is why we always say, check your change. Because history hides in plain sight. That dime in your pocket could be a rare collectible, a minting error, or simply a pristine example of modern American numismatics. If you've got a 1997 dime, now's the time to take a closer look. Examine it carefully. Use a magnifying glass. Look for errors, sharp details, anything unusual. And if you think you've got a gem, don't hesitate, get it graded and appraised. You might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the mysterious and potentially valuable 1997 one-dime coin. If you enjoyed this journey through American coinage and hidden value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunting episode. We've got more coin secrets, money myths, and numismatic legends coming your way. Until next time, keep looking, keep collecting, and keep believing. Because sometimes, the smallest coin holds the biggest story. Today we're diving deep into a coin that many people overlook, the humble one-dime coin from the year 2003. That's right, just 10 cents on the face. But some of these coins could be worth far more than you think. In fact, some of these dimes have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? Stay tuned, because we're going to uncover the secrets of the 2003 one-dime coin, its fascinating history, what to look for, how much it can be worth, and how to find one that could change your financial future. Let's get started. The one-dime coin of the United States, worth 10 cents, has a long-standing history that goes back over 2 centuries. But the specific coin we're talking about today is from the year 2003. In 2003, the United States Mint produced dimes at 2 primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver. That means there are 2 major mint marks you want to look for, the P mint mark for Philadelphia, and the D mint mark for Denver. You'll find that small letter on the right side of the coin just above the torch. These coins are part of the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946, right after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was honored on the dime partly due to his association with the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio, a disease he famously battled. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has remained largely unchanged in design. The obverse features Roosevelt's left-facing profile, and the reverse displays a torch in the center, flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace and strength. Now you might be wondering, how many of these 2003 dimes were made? The answer is, a lot. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.1 billion of these dimes. That's billion with a B. The Denver Mint wasn't far behind, producing more than 900 million. That means in total, over 2 billion 2003 dimes were struck. So yes, on the surface, this coin is not rare. But here's the twist. Even though billions were made, only a very small number of 2003 dimes have certain errors, conditions, or qualities that make them extremely valuable to collectors. That's where the money is. Error coins are some of the most exciting finds in numismatics. For the 2003 dime, here are some of the most valuable and sought-after errors that have shown up on the market. Off-center strikes. These coins were not struck correctly centered. Depending on how far off-center they are, these can sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars. Double dies. This happens when the coin is struck more than once in slightly different positions. On a double die obverse, for instance, you might see Roosevelt's face doubled or the date, and letters appear blurred or shadowed. These errors can fetch serious money, in some cases hundreds or more depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling. Clipped planchets. A clipped planchet occurs when a blank coin sheet was misfed, cutting off part of the coin. It looks like a bite has been taken out of the edge. These are dramatic and eye-catching errors that collectors love. Wrong planchet strikes. This is rare, but if a dime was mistakenly struck on a blank meant for another coin, like a penny or foreign coin, it could be worth thousands. Missing clad layer. The Roosevelt dime is made of a copper core with a nickel outer layer. Sometimes, one of those layers is missing, usually the outer nickel, revealing the red copper underneath. These coins can look like pennies at first glance, and they're very valuable. Now let's talk about condition. You've probably heard the phrase, mint condition. But in the world of coin collecting, it's more technical than that. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70, mint state 70, being a perfect, flawless coin. Most 2003 dimes are found in circulated condition, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions. But a 2003 dime in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially MS 65 and above, is a different story. Let's look at some real-world auction results. A 2003 D Roosevelt dime graded MS 68 by PCGS has sold for over $300. That's right, a dime that's barely worth a parking meter payment could be worth hundreds if it's in superb condition. A 2003 P dime in similar high grade has also crossed the $250 mark at auction. If you happen to find a coin with a rare error in mint condition, the price can go up exponentially. Combine a double die error with an MS 67 grade, and you're looking at a potential value of $1,000 or more. Now the million-dollar question: how do you find these valuable dimes? There are a few ways. First, go through your pocket change. You'd be surprised how many people overlook dimes entirely. Look closely at every coin, especially the date and mint mark. Second, visit local banks and ask for rolls of dimes. You can search through them, a practice known as coin roll hunting, and potentially find uncirculated or error coins. Third, go to flea markets, estate sales, and garage sales. People often sell coin jars without checking for rarity. Your next great find might be sitting in someone's kitchen drawer. Fourth, if you already have a coin collection, recheck your 2003 dimes using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. You might already own a valuable coin and not even know it. If you believe you've found a rare or valuable 2003 dime, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Reputable grading services like PCGS and NGC will authenticate, grade, and encapsulate your coin in a tamper-proof holder. A professionally graded coin typically sells for more on the open market because collectors trust the accuracy and authenticity of the grade. However, grading comes at a cost, usually between $20 and $50 per coin, sometimes more. So it's usually only worth grading coins that you suspect are worth at least $100 or more. As of today, the general value of a circulated 2003 dime is still 10 cents. But the market for coin collectors is alive and well, and special variants of the 2003 dime are actively being bought and sold online, at coin shows, and through private sales. Here's a quick summary of the current values. Regular 2003 P or 2003 D in circulated condition, 10 cents mint state MS 65, $5 to $15 MS 67 or MS 68. $100 to $350 major errors like off-center or double die, $100 to $1,000 plus rare planchet errors or high-grade proofs, $1,000 to $2,500 or more. The key to value is rarity, condition, and demand. The coin market can fluctuate like any other, so if you're holding on to a rare 2003 dime, keep an eye on auctions and coin dealer listings to stay up to date. So, the next time you get change at a store, don't just shove those coins in your pocket. Take a closer look. That 2003 dime you just tossed on the counter could be worth more than lunch. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner with a curious eye, keep hunting. You never know what treasure is hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 2003 dime, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And hey, if you found a 2003 dime with an interesting error or grade, share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a video packed with amazing coin facts, hidden treasures, and tips to grow your collection. Today, we're diving deep into a small coin with a surprising story, the 2016 one-dime coin from the United States. That's right, just 10 cents, but some versions of this dime could be worth way more than their face value, potentially hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on the condition and rarity. So, let's buckle up and take a journey into American history, coin minting mysteries, and the collector's market to uncover everything you need to know about the 2016 one-dime coin. Before we get into the value of the 2016 dime, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind this tiny but powerful coin. The US dime, officially known as the 10-cent coin, has been a cornerstone of American currency since it was first minted in 1796. But the design we know today, the Roosevelt dime, was introduced in 1946 in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Shortly after his death, Roosevelt wasn't just any president. He was a giant of his time, leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. But there's another reason he was honored with the dime: his close association with the March of Dimes, a foundation that fought polio, a disease Roosevelt himself battled for most of his life. So, every time you hold a dime in your hand, especially a Roosevelt dime, you're holding a piece of American legacy and a tribute to a fight for public health that shaped the nation. Now, let's zoom in on the 2016 Roosevelt dime. On the surface, it might look like just another pocket change coin, but don't be fooled. There's more to it than meets the eye. The 2016 Roosevelt dime was minted at multiple locations, primarily the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, marked by the P and D mint marks respectively. There was also a proof version produced in San Francisco, carrying the S mint mark. In 2016, millions upon millions of these dimes were struck. So, what makes any of them valuable? It all comes down to errors, minting variations, condition, and collector demand. Here's where it gets exciting. Certain 2016 Roosevelt dimes have been found with rare minting errors, and these can be incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most sought-after varieties includes the doubled die obverse, where the date and the word, Liberty, appear doubled. Another error is the off-center strike, where the design is not aligned correctly, creating a crescent-like blank space on the coin. Then there are die cracks, cuds, and missing clad layers, which are all fascinating and valuable errors. Some 2016 dimes have been reported with partial missing letters, weak strikes, or even mirror-like proof finishes mistakenly struck for circulation. These types of errors are not always common, but when they surface, collectors are willing to pay a premium. Depending on the severity and rarity of the error, such coins have sold from $50 to over $1,000 at online auctions and coin shows. Now, even if your 2016 dime doesn't have an error, it can still be valuable based on its condition. This is where coin grading comes in. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no visible marks even under magnification. A regular 2016 dime in circulation might be worth just 10 cents. But a 2016 Roosevelt dime graded MS67 or MS68, that's mint state 67 or 68, can fetch $20, $50, or even more depending on the buyer. Even more spectacular are proof coins struck in San Francisco. A 2016 S-proof dime in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition can be worth significantly more than face value, especially if it's part of a rare proof set or has exceptional eye appeal. So what's the current market saying about the 2016 Roosevelt dime? Here's a breakdown. Circulated dimes from 2016, P or D mint mark, are typically worth face value unless they feature an error or are in uncommonly high grade. Uncirculated, MS65 or higher, coins from Denver or Philadelphia can sell for $3 to $10. High grade examples, MS67 or higher, can jump to $25 to $75 or more, depending on demand and auction activity. Proof dimes from San Francisco, PR69 to PR70 deep cameo, range from $5 to $30, with rarer sets fetching even more. Rare era coins, such as off-center strikes or doubled dies, have recently sold for up to $1,200 or more depending on the visibility and clarity of the error. Coin dealers and collectors are always watching for unusual features, so if you think your 2016 dime looks a bit odd or too perfect to be true, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. Wondering how to check if your dime is valuable? Here's a quick guide. Get a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling, misalignments, or unusual surfaces. Check the edges. Look for missing ridges or partial cladding. Flip it under a light. Proof coins have a mirror finish. Regular coins do not. Use coin grading apps or websites. Compare yours with known rare varieties. Consider professional grading. If you suspect you have a high-value piece, a certified grade will dramatically increase its sale price. You might be thinking, it's just 10 cents. But coin collecting is about much more than money. It's about preserving history, understanding minting craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story, whether it's about a president, a moment in history, or a rare mistake made at the mint that turned a common coin into a collector's dream. People have found valuable coins in parking lots, in change from a vending machine, or forgotten in old jars at home. So don't overlook your change. You never know when that 2016 dime could be your unexpected treasure. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about the 2016 one dime coin from the United States. From its powerful backstory honoring President Roosevelt to the rare mint errors that make certain pieces worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, this humble coin carries more than just face value. It's a miniature slice of American history and a hidden gem for collectors. Let me know in the comments if you've found any rare 2016 dimes, or if you have questions about other coins you'd like me to cover. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone interested in coins, collectibles, or just fun stories hidden in everyday life. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting and keep checking that pocket change.